Hello everyone, my name is Leena Narkar and welcome to the first tutorial of this video series to learn Android. In our today's lecture, we would be covering the following points: system requirements to download Android, how to download Android Studio, configuration of SDK Manager, how to create a virtual device, and then we will run a simple Hello World application on emulator. So now, what are the system requirements if you want to download Android Studio? If you're using Windows, then you need to have minimum Windows 7. 8 and 10 is always preferable. You need to have minimum 3 GB of your RAM. And if it's less than like 2 GB or something, your Android Studio is really going to hang on. 8 GB is always recommended. You should have JDK 8 installed. And I would assume that already you have installed Java and you know how to go along with the installation. For your Android Studio, you would be requiring 500 MB of your disk space, and for your Android SDK, emulator, system images and cache, you would require minimum 1.5 GB. Okay, so I hope all of you are clear with the system requirements. And now we would be going ahead with our second point, that is to download Android Studio. So it's a very simple process to download Android Studio. All you need to do is go to this link, developer.android.com, and over there you can just follow their instructions and you would be coming to this page. This is like the official ID for Android to download over here. You need to click over here and your downloading would begin, and it is like almost 1674 MB and it's going to take a very long time to download. So I have already downloaded Android Studio, and when you download, it is called as ADT bundle. Okay, it's called as ADT bundle. And this is what ADT bundle looks like when you're done with your downloading. It would look like this. All you need to do is double click on this and your installation process would begin, and then it is like just like any other normal application. You need to do is next, and your Android Studio would be installed. Once you're done with your installation, your Android Studio would be looking somewhat in this way. So this is how your Android Studio would look. You won't be having this thing because this is like the applications you have already made. So now we would be going to our third point about how to go with the SDK manager configuration and what are the things that you would requirements as initially for development. So when you're opening your Android Studio, all you need to do is to go over here to configure and then over here SDK manager. Here go to launch standalone SDK manager. Okay. Once you're done with this, just go on minimizing the things. Okay. So you don't need to go and install each and everything. Just install whatever is required. For yeah, I have installed like SDK platforms for almost even for Nougat. Now I'll tell you what is essential for you to install. Uh, if you're developing an Android app, like suppose for Lollipop, okay, then you need to have SDK platform for Lollipop installed. You need to have system image, ARM EABI, and Intel 86 Atom system image. These two are for your virtual device. If you want to run your application on virtual device, you need to have these two things installed. Rest of the things are not it's not mandatory, but then if you want to run on emulator, it's better if you're having these things installed. And I have installed everything till ice cream sandwich. You too can do that, but it takes a very long time. So as per your requirements, you can just go on installing that. Next thing that you need to have installed is all these things, your Google Play service, especially if you want to use tomorrow you're going to make a location app or you're going to use Google Play service. It's mandatory. You need to install this. Then is your Google repository, and yes, and if you're going to run your application on your real device, then you need to have Google USB driver installed. Otherwise, it's going to give you problems later on. So if you want to install something, all you need to do is just select that particular thing, like check it over here and install it, and the installation begins. Okay, so we are done with this, and now I'll tell you what this means. To start, yes, before going to this, we would go to our fourth point, that is how to create a virtual device. Now you can run your Android applications in two ways. First one is on your real device, for which I told you need to have your USB driver installed. And second thing is a virtual device, which is also known as Android Virtual Device, AVD. Okay, and for this thing you need to you that is called as an emulator. Okay, it's called emulator. So now how to go ahead with this process? What you need to do is, usually this is a thing where you can find your like SDK folder. You go to your file manager and go to PC. Okay, then you go to your C drive and users, admin, and admin. You might have, if you can't see this thing, then you can just have something hidden files. Open your hidden files and this folder appears app data. Okay, you need to go inside app data, local. Over there you will find a folder called as Android. In your Android, go to SDK, and yes, you're over here. Now you have something called as AVD manager over here, that is your Android virtual device. You need to double click on this. It will take some time to start, so we can wait until that time, no issues. Yes, here it is. So this is how your Android virtual device manager looks like. This is already some of the virtual devices which I have already created. If you want to create a new one, you need to click over here, create. Now I will give my virtual device some name. So I will give it as tutorial 1. And you can reuse your virtual device, like you can use it for your all the applications. Okay, so then device. Now while selecting a device over here, okay, it's always better for you to select a smaller device, because it would take some less time to like start, otherwise it's going to take a very long time. Then target. Now while using SDK manager, I had told you that you need to download ARMBI and your Intel 86 system images. So for only for the versions that you have downloaded your system images, would you be getting your virtual device. So I have downloaded it only for Lollipop, and so I would go and select that. Okay, and see, now this is like enabled. Before that, if it wasn't Lollipop, then it was disabled. You won't get anything over here because you haven't installed the system images. So now I go and select Lollipop, and then it asks me that which one. So I have installed it for both ARM as well as Intel Atom. I will select Intel Atom. Then skin, it's always better to select skin with dynamic hardware controls, and yeah, everything rest is fine. Here you can give your SD card as 100 MB, and then you create, say, okay, and yes, and now your emulator would start. Like you would create a virtual device. It's going to take a bit long time again. So yes, and till this it will just go on going in background. We will see what Android Studio is and how it works, like until unless like till the time your virtual device is created. We would be going to our first point, like a fifth point, to run a simple Hello World application on emulator. So now, how is this done? We can, first of all, you need to do is start a new Android application, and rest of the things, open an existing Android Studio project. Is if you already have an existing Android Studio project and you want to open it, you can open it up from here. if you have an Android project but it is in Eclipse, okay, and not in Android, then it can be done from here. Okay. Yes, our Android virtual AVD is ready, and this is tutorial 1 which we just created. All you need to do is go and start it and launch, and yes, it will now just start in background. It will just start in background now. And okay, now what you need to do is start a new Android project. Okay, so this is your first screen, and we will give it name as first project. Okay, company domain is something, whenever you would be starting your Android Studio for the first time, you will be getting over there something called as com.example. Okay, and it is always preferable to change this thing, because if tomorrow you're going to publish your application on Google Play, then Google Play doesn't accept com.example. You need to have a particular company domain name. So I have given this name. You can give anything, whatever you wish to, and then click on next. Now this thing, minimum SDK. Now what minimum SDK means is that if I am selecting ice cream sandwich, then any phone which is like before ice cream sandwich, that is honeycomb, it won't be able to like use my application. Or if I am giving Kit Kat, then ice cream sandwich and jelly bean won't be able to use my application. So this is the minimum SDK. And whenever you're selecting any minimum SDK, you get over here the percentage to which like this application would be available, percentage of population. So this is like jelly bean is for 96%, and Kit Kat goes to 80, and yes, if you go to Nougat, then it's going to be even less than 1% of devices. So to be on safer side, we go for ice cream sandwich, which is you still like almost 98.3% people can access your application. So we'll go for this thing, and we select next. You can change this thing later on. It's allowed. You can just go in your Gradle and you can change it. Next. Over here we have different types of activities which we can use for our application. I would be like letting you know about rest of the activities in our further videos, like further lectures. For now we will select empty activity. And this is like to generate a layout file. Layout file is your XML file which gives you like where you can do all the designing part, and your buttons, components, everything can be added over here. So you can either generate it separately, then link it together, or you get an entire activity with your Java file and your XML file. Okay, and backward compatibility, yes, it is preferred for now. We would be coming to know what is this in our further lectures. And finally we click on finish. And yes, it's just building our Android application. It's going to take again some time, and even our emulator is getting ready. Yes, so this is your emulator, and it looks like a phone. It's a virtual device, and you can run your applications over here. This is the home button, the way you have your home button and your back button and your the apps which you recently opened. It just works like you can even rotate it from here. You can open camera, zoom it, everything is allowed. Over here you have this options to check the battery, then the cellular stuff. If you want to call someone, yes, you can do all those things from here. If you want to message, like check your messaging, call apps, all these things can be done over here. So our app is like it's still building the app. So once your project is done, and when you open your project, it will look like this. This is the Java file where you would be doing your coding, And this is your resource folder. Over here in layout and in activity main.xml, you would be doing your designing part. Okay. So yes, it looks like this. And for in our today's video series, we wouldn't be doing any coding part. All we would be doing is like running a simple Hello World application on the virtual device which we have just created. Yes, so this is like we already have a Hello World written over here, and we will get it to center and increase its size. You need to go over here and you can increase its size 36. Yes, okay, and get it to center. That's it. And now we would be seeing how to run this application. Okay, so we have something called as run over here and run the app. Now it would be if you have your like devices like real devices connected, it would be giving you your real devices over here. Then this is tutorial one, as this like this virtual device has already like emulator has started, and that's why I'm getting this devices connected, and rest are the things like which I had showed you that I had already made this devices earlier, so I can even see them. I can run my application on any device which I want. Okay, so I select this and I click on OK. And over here you get this Gradle build running, if you can see it below. Uh, Wait, I'll minimize this. So you can see it over here. Now it will again take some time.